Hello, and welcome to a potentially echoey version of App Developer Conversations. As always, I'm Ian Sepperman, CEO of Mobile Dev HQ, and I'm here today with Robi and I of Attentive.
Hey.
Sadly, we are missing Ryan Morell of PlacePlay.
He's off in Hawaii getting a tan.
Yeah, such is life.
Miss you, Ryan.
So we wanted to take a step back from maybe the normal weekly videos that we always do and go through sort of the basics of app marketing and retention over launch and ongoing, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with what to do when you launch an app. So name sort of the three most high-level things that you should be caring about when you first launch your app.
So it seems to me, and you're obviously the expert on this, right? But the things that come up as questions from developers all the time are around name. So how do we name our app? We got to think about this. It's like, it's really intimidating when you're in the App Store interface and you're thinking about the name, all the characters you have to use. And along with that, the subsequent descriptions and keywords, so like that sort of data. Then what you're targeting from a discovery perspective, so actually being thoughtful about where you want to be showing up, what your categories are, those sorts of things. And then finally, like the aspect of the other data, so screenshots and how you're presenting yourself, describing yourself.
That's right. Yeah, so when you start to think about it at a super high level, you have a limited amount when you're thinking about your App Store presence, right? You have a limited amount of places knobs and levers that you can turn in the App Store, and you care about it from two perspectives. The first is discovery, right? You want to actually be found, and then the second is once you are found, getting the conversion from there on my detail page, or they see me in a search result, and actually getting them to download your app. And so, in my opinion, so like sort of walking through that list that you said, the name of your app is great for both discovery and conversion, right? So in terms of discovery, you can sort of seed it with the right keywords that you want to be discovered for, and then for conversion, you can name it something that is sort of like evokes emotion and tells them what they're about to get into, right? Screenshots are terrible for discovery, but they could potentially be one of the largest factors in conversion.
Yeah.
Right. And when you get down into it, I don't think that you should actually put in actual screenshots. You basically are given an opportunity to put in 5 promotional graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Use it as such.
Right.
So all of those things together, and then the one piece that every company goes through is, what should I price my app at?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about pricing?
Well, I think that we talk about games a lot in our app developer conversations, because today they're such a big piece of the economy, and so it seems like in general for most games the price should be zero. You should be thinking about monetizing through other activities like in-app purchasing, advertising, that sort of thing. But there's a large opportunity to be actually charging for your app, and the wrong answer in charging for your app is to just pick 99 cents. There's actually a really strong argument, I think, for pricing higher and then doing, from time to time, discounts, but also investing in establishing value. So a large piece of what's happening in the ecosystem is that people are just kind of like following one another, but the people we see over and over again doing well are leaders who are thoughtful about, I'm creating a brand, and as this brand grows over time, yes, the growth curve is slow, but at a certain point in time where they have real credibility with consumers, a $5 price point is legitimate. And we actually see that there's not much difference between a 99-cent app and a $5 app if the app is good.
Interesting.
What about you?
Yeah, so I think that's right on. And when I think of pricing, the distinction that I make in my head is my app going to be free or is it going to be paid?
Yeah.
Right? And if I choose that it's going to be paid, that is not making the decision that the app is going to be 99 cents. That is making the decision that I am thinking critically about who is my audience, what is the value my app is providing. There's there is no reason for many enterprise apps to be 99 cents, right? And I think enterprise is a huge growth opportunity in mobile.
Absolutely.
And paid works really well for them, and the budgets of organizations is not 99 cents, right? It's far more than 99 cents per employee.
And another thing on this point about the free versus paid is expectations. So understanding that consumer expectations as soon as you charge are going to be the same whether it's 99 cents or it's $10. Like consumers who buy your app for 99 cents will have the same level of frustration around your app if it doesn't fully meet their needs as if they paid $10 for it. There's really no difference from their perspective. They're like, well, I paid for this app, you owe me this. So I see a lot of people doing mistaken margin calculations essentially around their business, because if they're charging 99 cents is your total gross revenue, and then out of that has to come your cost of acquiring the customer through advertising and other channels, and your cost of servicing that customer on an ongoing basis. And obviously with 99 cents, there's very little room there.
Yep, that's right. And the other thing that I would add to pricing is that platform matters.
Yes.
And this is much more so in the consumer than the enterprise side. But iOS, like the opportunity to charge and have a successful product is still higher than it is in Google Play land. But then especially if you're building a tablet app and an Android tablet app, your opportunity to charge is again made higher with Amazon App Store, right? Like
yeah.
You can go back to the Amazon App Store and charge, even though you might not want to charge in the Google Play world, right?
Yeah, and actually you bring up two really interesting points there. So the first is the difference between these app stores and their monetization, right? So for those of you who are not familiar with the dynamics, a key driver of monetization in the app stores are the number of credit cards on file. So Apple dominates. They have hundreds of millions of credit cards on file thanks to over a decade of iTunes being in consumers' hands. And that's one of the reasons that people are more able to purchase. It's very quick because they already have that data, and it's actually a requirement. When you set up your iPhone, that you put in your iTunes account and a credit card. Google Play does not have that requirement. Amazon, however, does. Right? They have a lot of credit cards on file, and so that's a reason why people are able to purchase them.
In fact, if I remember correctly, Amazon actually, because you purchased the Kindle Fire from Amazon, or at least 90+% are purchased from Amazon, you have an Amazon account, and they actually precede your Kindle Fire.
I believe it. Yes, that's exactly right. Because you have that ID.
Without the user doing anything, that credit card data is already in.
So that's definitely something to think about in terms of these marketplaces and dynamics in play. And then the other thing is there is a big difference between a phone app and a tablet app. And pricing, we see a lot of delta in the pricing between those. So charging $10 and $15 for a tablet app is definitely very reasonable.
That's right.
So, and if you're even thinking further and going to the Mac App Store, for example,
sure.
We see Mac app apps charging $50 and $100, no problem. So if you're going to be pricing your app, you want to start doing some decision tree making about which place we're going to launch in, what the pricing dynamics for each of those are.
That's right. Yep. All right. Well, thanks so much. I think that gives a good coverage of discovery and pricing for launch, right?
I think that's right. It's a quick overview, and then in our next segment,
we'll talk about sort of after you launch, how do you manage discovery and manage retention and engagement.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Thanks everybody. Remember to like this video and share it with your friends.